Your official ball.
For the CPO?
Yeah, did you get the email?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to that website. That's exactly.
Doug Pratt, good guy.
Okay, we are going to start with a public hearing, the grant award for the Economic Development Initiative. Is there anybody here wanting to speak on behalf of the grant award for the Economic Development Initiative? I have to ask this 3 times to make it official. Is there anybody here that wants to speak on behalf of the grant award for the Economic Development Initiative? Is there anybody that wants to speak on behalf of the grant award for the Economic Development Initiative? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We're going to call the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Start with a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
Stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Commissioner McConnell.
Here.
Commissioner Beeden.
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Here.
Commissioner Vandenbosch.
Here.
Commissioner Rushing.
Here.
Commissioner Dunn.
Here.
Chairman Bone.
Here. Item 3, additions, deletions, changes to the agenda. We have an addition and a deletion.
Mr. Chair, I would move item 3A to item 11P. And to delete item B.
Proclamations. Do I have a second?
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item 5, minutes of previous meetings, items A and B.
This time I'd like to make a motion to approve and file the minutes of March 10th, 2022 Commission meeting and the April 7th, 2022 Standing Committee meetings. Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item 6, proclamations. Item B, the Clay Township Bicentennial Celebration. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proclamation recognizing Clay Township's bicentennial celebration.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
And you'll get that to Artie then?
Yes,
David?
will.
Consent agendas, items A through J.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve items 7A through 7J on the consent agenda.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Item 8, reports of standing and special committees. I'm going to start with Commissioner Vandenbosch.
I think we've got all the paperwork finally together for the sirens. They've already been ordered due to the issues with ordering everything right now. So we'll have West Shore in the area in the next couple weeks, scouting out locations, getting that all done. And I haven't found out where we're at with some of the other things, but we're probably still waiting for things to get in from orders on Elginax Park and others, the generator programs for the orders and that.
Okay. Commissioner Rushing?
Real short, I think all 6 townships in the city of Memphis are all set on the funding that this board approved prior, and they're all set for their roads this year for the expenses to be spent.
Okay.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner McConnell?
Just, and I didn't see it anywhere else, but the meetings that have been held on, I still want to call it the gypsy moth, but the, what do we call it? The
Spongy.
spongy moth. It seemed to have gone well. The ones that have been had, they've been received well, and the information is, from what I'm gathering, very good. I haven't had anybody complain that they're not getting answers to their questions. So I think they're doing a good job.
Good. Commissioner Baldwin?
Yes, so I was trying to find, I thought I had it saved to my desktop. Here we go. The St. Clair County Master Plan, there are visioning meetings coming up. So this information can be found on the St. Clair County Metropolitan Planning, through on our county website, but on Metro Planning's page. But these are, meetings where people from the county can show up, talk about their vision for their area of the county or the county overall. But it's part of putting together the master plan. So those dates, so that's Tuesday, the 26th, Thursday, the 28th, Wednesday, May 4th, throughout the county. One's in Fort Gratiot, Clay, and Goodles. So, but that information is available if you want to pass it on to your member communities as well and put it out on your socials. But they're looking for input.
Commissioner Beeden?
I participated in the Council on Aging's Easter meal distribution for homebound seniors. It's a great opportunity just to give back. We delivered 12 meals in about an hour. And it was just nice to be able to reach out into the community and help those that, can't get out or don't have family to celebrate with. So every holiday there's an opportunity, so reach out to the Council on Aging if that's something that you're interested in.
Okay. So I had a meeting today with East China Township. Actually been working with St. Clair, East China Township, St. Clair Township, just on the whole kind of water, sewer, who's got what for capacity. I know we're talking about 26-mile road over there. We've got some developments going on in St. Clair, some, more potential developments happening, and it's really coming down to the, not water issue. We're in pretty good shape with the water. But the sewer and really who has what. And you're finding in a lot of these smaller communities, the city of St. Clair, for example, services sewer and water to St. Clair Township. Well, a lot of the growth in the last X amount of years has happened in the township. So these systems are right there, not being able to do much more with it. Some of the things in St. Clair, we're talking about a water tower to increase the water pressure, so on and so forth. So been in quite a few of those meetings lately to try to kind of get a plan in place with that moving forward. Next Wednesday, there's a few of us, Carrie, myself, I see Justin's in the room, East China Township, some of the assessors, we're going to be meeting internally to talk about the taxation on the new DT plant, the gas-fired plant that's actually coming online, just to make sure we all have our ducks in a row. Then we're going to probably end up follow-up meeting with DT just to make sure that everybody's consistent, I guess. And these things in the past, and it's worked out well. DT's been fantastic to deal with. We didn't get any bugaboos with them, but these valuation things have gotten a little bit hairy in the past for some communities, end up in court, so on and so forth. We're not, we're better than that. We can figure this stuff out. Which, you have the equalization report here today, and Justin will go through that later, but this gas-fired plant's $1 billion with a B. And if you look at what our valuations are, that's roughly 11% of the entire SEV in St. Clair County in that one plant. So hopefully we get more of those. That's it with that. So citizens wishing to address the board. Mary Conlon. RR at Allen, Griswold, and Range.
Hi, I think, Lisa, I think this is your area, but when the rails come in to go into the rail yard, they're blocking Allen, Range, and Grizzle Road for 45 minutes or more, and this is more than once a week. I think this is could be a huge issue if you need a fire, police, EMS, rescue. I called the police department, the sheriff, and they said, hey, they contact us so we know if they're there. But if this is a daily or 4 or 5 times a week, I think you're really setting up for somebody to seriously be injured if there is a rescue needed. I guess my ask is there any reason why they can't stop west of Wadham's Road and wait for a clearing to come into the yard? Because they're not moving when they're parked there on Allen Road and Range and Grizzled Road. My friend just lives a couple of houses past there, and she's noted 45 minutes or more when they're parked there. So I don't know who's responsible for that. When I talked to the sheriff, they say, those guys are professionals, they know what they're doing, and it is what it is. So, I mean, I'd hate to see somebody be injured and us not be able to get to them. I hate to see there be a big fire, somebody lose their properties, because we have to go around 3 different main ways to get to them.
Grab me at the end of the meeting, and we'll talk more,
Okay,
if you're going to be around for the entire.
I'll wait.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff, if I could, you know the specifics, if I could add to it, because it'd probably answer a question.
Yeah, Dave's an old railroad guy, just for.
I was actually the track supervisor for the tracks you're talking about, from Port Huron to Detroit. And we normally don't talk, but that was argued in court. And what happens with railroads is that they are regulated by the federal government. The county, the state we have nothing we can do other than ask them to try to comply and not block crossings, but we have zero authority.
I know it used to be really bad before they got the overpass on that other side.
Right, on Michigan.
So they're not blocking Michigan, but they're still blocking Bridgeville and Range. And then, like I said, my biggest deal is, God forbid somebody should, really need help, and we've got to go 4 miles around, 5 miles, whatever it takes to get rescued. And I guess the people call and request and ask.
I know Port Huron Township had a capital request into MDOT for another overpass over there in that section. I can't tell you exactly which road, but I know that's came up in conversation, so.
When the last one went in and got a little conversation, that was $10 million, and I got involved with it a little bit just because I know. And they were gonna put a double crossing there at Griswold and help them to redesign the tracks where you had to switch on the one side. So you only got one set of tracks going there, otherwise there would have been 2 sets of tracks for a crossing, double maintenance for a crossing. But they redesigned that, put a number 10 turnout, and that would have been what, south of Griswold. And, but
Get
that
with
was a
me.
$10 million
Get
project.
with me and get me your phone number after, and I'll put a call in the road commission to see where even this project may be in the pipeline. Okay, Kevin Watkins, and actually then I have Vicky, which is going to defer her time to Kevin, so.
Yeah. So I have 6 minutes, so I may not need them. Just to comment quickly, with Kevin Watkins, Wells Township, Mr. Rushing, our representative in that area. Just to comment on what she just stated, that normally what happens with that is what happens. There's a big something, happens bad, people die, there's a lawsuit, and then they do something about it. Only thing about that, depending you look at politics, who's all the way up when it's appealed to the Supreme Court, what they believe in. They're for big business or they're for the citizens of how that would turn out. That's normally how it works. Okay, so basically, I'm not here to beat the commissioners up. I'm gonna welcome Mr. Dunn back. You missed a lot of action before. I remember when some big votes came down, you were out. I'm sure it was a good reason. I just want, and I know that this ship has sailed, but I have to make these comments in regards to the issue with Dr. Mercantile. Of course, I left the article right there. You just hold it up in regards to, we understand that she received an award, and you don't just get this from being the health department director. It's a really nice article. Hope people can read that. But also, a lot of times when I speak, you usually don't understand what I'm saying to the end, because I speak using comparables. I love using sports scenarios. So look at Dr. Mercantile, what we had here. We had someone with the MD that covered the medical doctor portion, as far as the medical director, and then had the master's in public health, which made her a very unique person in Michigan. I might like to challenge you to tell me any other county that has someone that has those credentials that can do both roles. So we were very lucky to have her. For example, say if New England Patriots had Tom Brady after one Super Bowl, they let him go. How do you feel?
I don't want to take any of your time away. It's making it hard to hear you. Quit hitting you're hitting the.
It's just interference. It's
Oh, that, sorry.
It's hard to hear you with your hand.
Oh, boy, okay.
That's all.
Is that me doing that? Oh, boy. Okay, I hope you heard most of that. Like I stated about Dr. Mercantile having the medical doctor, she being the MD, and covering a portion for medical director, and then also having a master's in public health, where she had a dual role, which is I challenge any other county in Michigan, if any, that has a person that has that those credentials, and then add to that the experience of what she brought to us, and was just so frustrating that there was just a push forward, and then the commissioners you voted for to basically fire her, which was basically to separate the positions, knowing that out of pride she wouldn't reapply for both. Yeah, I don't blame her. But I was using a scenario like, say, if Tom Brady, New England Patriots, if he after one Super Bowl, the New England Patriots let him go, hoping to do better. How do you think they would have felt after he won? How many more after that? Looking at the Detroit Lions had Barry Sanders. They ran him off, and then they think they can replace him with Adrian Peterson and Reggie Bush. We know how that worked out. Didn't work out. I like what the late Pastor Critton would say, when he said, we as humans just can't stand prosperity. We just get there to the pinnacle, and then we want to make a change. A good example was during the Clinton years, when Clinton was president, the middle class was at its best. As far as income level, owning homes, etc. Prosperity. Pass the baton to Bush, to Gore, we continue on. Oh no, let's make a change. We go to Bush. We know what happened then. We went straight to hell. Then we bring Obama in. He brings us out of hell, gets us in a good level. We can prosper again. And guess what? We want to make change. Instead of passing the baton to Hillary Clinton, we want to change. We go to Trump. What happened? So it is, here we go now. We got Biden coming back up. We'll see what happens in 22. So I look at as far as Dr. Mercantile, how sad was that? You know, we understand, and I'm understanding it now because that ship is sailed, but we all know the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I would hope you wouldn't make that mistake again. You know, in different areas, if it's not just with the medical director, but different decisions you make, is that to do things despite your face. I understand one thing though, which is true. I'm gonna finish up. I understand, Mr. Rush, especially you, that you stated yourself, you were doing what your voters wanted you to do. And that's true. The voters have the power. You know, that's why people understand every vote counts, because if you didn't do what they wanted, they probably would have voted you out. So I understand that, but in general, sometimes you have to take a stand, what's the morally right and what's the right thing to do. So I look at that. We can agree to disagree. People probably saw that we had some pleasant greetings before, and that's fine. We can work together because you were representative in Wells Township. But I had to make that mention there. You guys made a huge mistake, and good luck finding someone on the level of Dr. Mercantile.
He got deferred time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, thank you. I thought about 6 minutes ran out. But good luck trying to find someone. I don't know how the search is coming. I know you guys know Miss Blackburn very well. She's our member of the NAACP, and she's some eyes and ears on a lot of those committee meetings that we need to know what's going on, because everyone can't be at all the meetings. Of course, you're supposed to have transparency. Of course, you do have that. So I'm just concerned about those type of decisions. And I wonder what we're going to see what you come up with as far as filling those two positions. It's obviously the one person, and it would be hypocritical if you hire someone to do both positions. So I guess you have to basically hire two. And so we'll see what happens. I'm in here. I'm very concerned with some of the candidates I hear that are applying, that some people want to do it virtually, part-time. So actually we're going to step back and get less of that quality because of that. That's what's going to end up happening. So we're going to see, I'm sure eventually you're going to have to fill that role, and I'd like to see who you're going to fill it with. So again, I was very disappointed, but that being said, we move on. I feel bad that I may have rubbed some people the wrong way, especially people like my Commissioner Baum, who's, like I said, a friend. But and he said something that's very important to me, Jeff, is when you said we probably agree on 95% of the things. This 5% we did not. This one thing we differ, and we have to respect that. We have to maintain respect, be cordial. Otherwise, we get nothing done. So I have nothing against you individual. I appreciate the women that stepped up, and it wasn't just for being a woman, because I felt there was a little sexism there in regards to Dr. Mercantile. It's just that men not wanting to hear a woman tell them what to do, or et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not going into that. But it was unfortunate. But anyway, good luck finding someone with her caliber that can receive awards like this, because the county, we deserve that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any unfinished business to come before us? Seeing none, moving into new business, item 11A.
This time I'd move to approve the February 2022 county disbursements in the amount of $17,626,148.27.
Support.
Discussion, roll call.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Chairman Bohm.
Yes. Item B, approval of county disbursements for March 20.
I would make a motion to approve the March 2022 county disbursements in the amount of $26,432,294.31.
Support.
Discussion, roll call.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Chairman Bohm.
Yes. Item C, the contract renewal approval request.
This time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the license and maintenance agreement renewal with Dynamic Imaging for the jail management system in the amount of $29,794.80.
Support.
For term of 5/16/22 through 5/15/23.
Now I won't support. I'll support.
Discussion, roll call.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item D, the contract renewal.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement with Stat Courier Service for the Health Department for a term of March 22, 2022 through March 21st, 2023 in the amount of $14,400.
Support.
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item E, Resolution 22-09.
At this time, I'd move to adopt Resolution 22-09, authorizing SEMCOG as the collective designated planning agency and authorizing the application of the Materials Management Grant.
Support. Baldwin.
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Resolution 22-10, placing the proposed St. Clair County Library System millage on the ballot. We have Mr. Whipple and Allison there. If there's any questions for anybody.
Let's start by, move to adopt the resolution 22-10, placing the proposed library system millage on the August 2022 ballot.
Support Beeden.
Discussion for anybody. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Item G, the closing request.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the library systems 2222 closing request as presented.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item H, Resolution 22-11, placing the proposed St. Clair County Ambulance Service millage on the ballot. Ken Cummings here if anyone has questions.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 22-11, placing the proposed St. Clair County Ambulance Service millage on the August 2022 ballot.
Support.
Any questions for Ken? Roll call.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item I, the St. Clair County Road Commission Annual Report.
This time I move to receive and file the St. Clair County Road Commission Annual Report.
Support.
Discussion. I had, so Kurt's a short timer. Weston, Bill Hazelton is going to be taking over. I actually had Kurt in a meeting today regarding water and sewer. You know, they know actually a lot about that. We talked a lot about the different systems. They're just, I'm in meetings with those guys quite a bit. I'm telling you, they are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to water, sewer, roads, bridges, funding. They've always been like super helpful and stuff, and I'm sure Bill will continue that level, you know, of information and those things, but can't say enough good stuff about them.
We're, Jeff, the road commission manages the sewer treatment.
So they have the Ira Clay system
For now.
for now.
For the next
They had 5 lagoons at one time. I just asked that question today, and then they're turning the lagoons back over a lot of times when they get up and running. Like they used to manage ours at the landfill, our leachate treatment facility. We actually do that internally now. But they have a level of expertise to do a whole bunch of stuff like that, you know.
To do Avoca and Emmett also.
Clay, Clay, Ira, and Algonac will be taking back over the plant.
And basically all
4
the
to 5
employees that
months.
work there today are staying there, so it's not like it's,
They're putting authority together, a sewer authority.
yeah.
Looks like
Which,
we're gonna keep.
which they've been running that thing forever. It's not, they didn't have to do it. They just kind of did it out of their, you know, kindness or their own whatever. And now it's time for, you know, for them to take it on. But no.
Good.
Did we have a motion second on that?
Yep.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Item J, the change to the 22 Public Guardian's Office.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the $55 on-call pay stipend for the Public Guardian Union employees.
Support?
Oh, I'm sorry. Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Beeden,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes?
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Chairman Bohm.
Yes. Item K, Commissioner Van den Bosch, District 7, the generator. Do you want to talk about it, David?
Yeah, well, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the rescue plan project for the purchase and installation of a replacement generator for the Marine City Fire Station in the amount of $37,150.
Second. And any questions for Dave?
We're replacing one that's in the 1950s, if might be 40s, we're not really sure. And it's an automatic, system's already in, so all they're doing is basically DPW is gonna handle the removal and disposal of the old one, and that's gonna be in kind trade-off for the installation, but they're talking 9 months, maybe a year before it even shows up.
Can't believe how the supply chain is so jacked up with everything.
So we'll see, hopefully sooner,
Okay.
hopefully.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Beeden,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes?
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Chairman Bohm.
Yes. Item L, the prosecuting attorney's office manning table addition. I saw Mr. Winland here if anyone has questions.
I would move to approve the addition of a part-time victim's right investigator to the prosecuting attorney manning table.
Support?
Discussion, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Item M,
This time I'd like to make a motion to approve the American Rescue Plan project for the installation of 15 warning signs in the southern and western portions of St. Clair County in the amount of $256,266.67.
I'll make that motion if they're sirens instead of signs.
Oh, yeah.
They're sirens.
I mean, it is a sign.
Any-
It's a warning sign.
any questions at all?
Just a little statement. I really appreciate this going. It's been going to help benefit my district also. So they didn't have some there, and then it's going to benefit a lot of people down in the south there.
And it's good for our, the one, we're gonna put one in, the one park in Columbus, so that kind of covers a big area of people outside that may not either hear their phones, if a weather alert comes out, so.
How far does the siren reach?
Depending on the, air,
Wind and,
yeah, they're roughly, we use a 3 mile circle. It can be a 5 mile circle, but
oh, thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Vandenbosch,
yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Chairman Bohm.
Yes. Justin, I'm actually going to drag you up here for this, if you don't mind. Item N, Resolution 22-13, approval of the equalization reports.
It's all right. I'll make the motion first so we can have the discussion. At this time, I move to adopt Resolution 22-13, approving the 2022 St. Clair County Equalization Report.
Support. Question for you. Now, I see there's a 5.78% increase, but what's that equate into for taxable, as far as like the county's increase? What would we be anticipating in a county budget, Carrie? And I don't know.
For our taxable value, it's just under 5%, I think 4.96.
So
Yeah,
would that
four
equate-
4.96.
So would that equate to a 4.96 increase in,
Revenue?
yes?
Roughly, yes. There are some other factors that go into it, such as refunds, tax tribunals. If some of that increase is in an area that's captured under a TIF or a DDA, then we don't receive those, so.
So let's say it's 4.5. The reason I bring that up, and I know there's been conversation with inflation. I know some of you have received emails from, employee groups, those types of things, and I, have responded, just because the economy's, booming, doing well and everything else, this is the increase that we're going to see, so, we're not seeing 10% increases, thanks. Okay. Any other questions for Justin?
Just curious, because I live in Riley, why has Riley got the highest tax increase in the county?
Highest tax increase? What are we looking at?
6.68%.
Did you build a pole barn out there, Dave, or something? Or something?
Yeah, that was the neighbors calling on you.
Fair enough.
No, it wasn't. Actually, if you look across that chart, there's significant increases across the whole county, all the local units. Some, larger than others, but you can look and see kind of on average there, we'll say 5%, maybe 6%. But the one that stuck out to me was East China, and I was actually going to bring this up because they only had for their assessed value an increase of 1.73%, and their taxable is 2.24. But what I wanted to bring that up, that has to deal with the power plants. So we've got the new power plant coming on, all that values, it's, coming on each year gradually. And then the St. Clair power plant is coming down gradually. So that's why you're not seeing, it's not up there with all the other increases with the other ones.
And that's part of Wednesday's discussion.
Right.
To, get all that stuff straightened around, so. Any other questions for Justin? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thanks, Justin.
Resolution 22-14, awarding the grant to the Economic Development Alliance for Economic Development Initiative.
I would make a motion to adopt Resolution 22-14, awarding a grant to the Economic Development Alliance of St. Clair County for Economic Development Initiatives.
Support, Baldwin?
So this plays into part of my district, and what we have in St. Clair is kind of unique, that, and the EDA is going to work with the Community Foundation, identify some priority projects. Our Community Foundation has a specific set aside, I think it's 10 million, somewhere in there, where the money's produced from that, probably gonna grow to 20 here in the near future. The money that's produced from that has to be spent in St. Clair Township, East China, in that geographical region. If you look at any of the capital projects that have happened in St. Clair, the Community Foundation's redoing the parking lot down in the mall right now to the tune of 1.2 million. They've done the courtyard, they've done ball fields, so on and so forth.
Tennis courts.
But we actually put a criteria together. There's an application that an entity would have to fill out. Because, my focus is a job creation, but some of the state sustainability. And you'll see some of the commissioners, just depending on districts, Dave doesn't have large capital projects in your district, right? I mean, a lot of the stuff's culverts and, some of the other stuff, which Dave, you were filling in.
We do have the 11th largest taxpayer, though. We got the Peters Brothers.
Yeah, no, a lot of farm. And then, Dave, you have those gaps in the, in other things. So when you look at needs, in my district, it's a little bit different than what it is in other areas, and you will see that in, I'm sure, George's and Lisa's and Greg's, so on and so forth. So, so that's my story.
Sticking with it.
Yeah. Roll call.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden.
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item P, the Economic Development Alliance sub-receipt agreement.
I'd move to approve the sub-recipient agreement with the Economic Development Alliance for CDBG funding. Mr. Casey is in the crowd tonight if anybody has any questions.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item 12, the administrator's report.
So just to expand a little bit on what Commissioner McConnell talked about earlier, we have had, the Friends of the St. Clair River did host 3 workshops for education on the spongy moths. They were very well attended. We have amped up the county's website, so there's a lot more information out there for citizens. The online reporting, as well as the slides and the presentation, can also be viewed online. We now have an interactive map that our GIS department has worked on that you can put addresses in, you can find the spray block, so you can see who, if you're in a spray block, if you're not. Now, we have been receiving opt-outs, and those will be reflected on the final maps. They may not be there yet, so if somebody did opt out and they still show they're in a spray block, that is still in process, so the spray blocks aren't final. But we are going to make sure on those maps that we show the opt-outs in a different color, so the citizens know that we did receive their request and that they are in fact opted out. Our audit has begun, so our auditors are on site. They will be here for the next 2 months, so that's a big part of what administrative staff is working on right now. We've also started the 2023 budget process. We have 15 of our bargaining units are up for negotiations this year, so we're trying to get budget estimates done early so we can come to you. We will be requesting a closed session next month to discuss our collective bargaining strategy and our proposal for the coming years. I am working with the city of Port Huron. They had some questions or potential interest in the county's vacant lot that's behind the AT&T building. The county used to lease that lot to AT&T when they were there for their employees. It has kind of sat vacant, so we are in discussions on a potential lease of that lot to the city for reuse, but I don't have anything concrete yet, but those discussions have started. Hopefully next month we might have something, a firm proposal for you to consider. And the interviews for the health department positions are underway. We have offered an interview to every qualified candidate. Not all the candidates accepted the interview. We did have some decline. However, everyone qualified was offered an interview. Those are happening over the course of 2 weeks. Depending on how those interviews go, people may be brought back in for a second interview. Most of them are being done via Zoom because the majority of our candidates are from out of state, so we're not having people come in for those, but if they do make a final list, we would probably bring them in from out of state for a second interview. And that's all I have this evening, unless anyone has questions.
I just wanted to add on to the Friends of the St. Clair River. So Sherry and I went to Cabana Blue yesterday. There's a big shoreline restoration project that they did down in Clay Township, and he having some issues with like Phragmites, that's Sherry's world, right? So she actually got a meeting with Eagle and somebody else. It's going to be her. I'm going to attend it to try to help them out down there to what you can do, what you can't do, that kind of stuff. Just wanted to emphasize it because there's another thing that the Friends of the St. Clair River are able to assist in, helping a private business owner, basically.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Carrie.
Sure.
On the opt-out, how many do you have any idea? Is it a significant amount? Or
It has not been a large amount. Those opt-outs have been going to the Friends of the St. Clair River, so they've been reviewing them, reaching out to those citizens just to answer, see if they have any questions. We have had a couple that have opted out, and then after speaking with the Friends Group educator, they've decided to opt back in. We have asked them to please opt back in to resubmit a form because we don't want to spray an area where someone does not want to be sprayed.
Right.
But I think it's been less than 20 that I'm aware of.
That's good. One of the other concerns that people had was if their neighbor opted out, what would that mean for their parcel? So I wasn't sure if we were talking a big number or.
We have not received many, no.
Okay. And then my second question, the parking lot for Port Huron. Do they want to continue to use it as a parking lot?
Yes.
In long term, not to lease it like for a festival or something. And I ask because I have learned that the Huron Lady is going to now park on the north side. And so the Quay parking lot is going to get even crazier between construction and Wrigley coming online. And now everybody who gets on the Huron Lady is going to want to park as close as possible, which is going to be these lots back here. So I wasn't sure if there was a way to maybe encourage that lot to be used for Huron Lady. Yes.
They are looking to use it to add additional parking.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Just one thing, when are we going to get the map? I'm not going to look at it then, but I was concerned about, because I didn't think we had specifics for the city of Memphis.
Those are all online right now, and each of the municipalities also have had access to the maps.
Oh, and to that point, so I did get a call from someone on the Spongemouth maps. It's a little clunky to go from a mobile device. You have to hit an extra button. If you're on a mobile device or on an iPad or something like that, when you get to the map, you have to click a different button that says, do you want to view this map in a different format? If you're on a desktop, it takes you right to it, but if you're on a mobile device, you have to click that extra button. FYI.
Okay, anything else for Carrie? Motion for the administrator's report.
I'll make a motion.
Support. Baldwin.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Miscellaneous business, any miscellaneous business come before us? Seeing none, receive and file.
Make a motion to receive and file packets that were sent to commissioners, packets at their places, and any other information presented.
Support.
Before we, all in favor, but before we adjourn, commissioners, we're going to be getting into our summer schedule. Think about who wants to host when we do the little traveling roadshow thing coming up. So just let me know if you want to do something. Adjournment, motion.
You got to vote on,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
you never voted on that receive and file.
And risk of jeopardizing the efficiency that you guys have going on with your meeting. I brought with me tonight my victims' rights supervisor. She was hired into our office about a year ago when Cheryl Eckert retired. She's running our victims department, and I don't know if you know anything about victims, but our victims department, but it's independent of my office in the sense that she advocates for victims of crime, whether it's you, it's your business, it's your child, it's your grandchild, whoever's a victim of crime. Courtney coordinates all of those people, coordinates all those victims, get them to the right places, tell them what their rights are, and protects the rights under Michigan Constitution. She is exceptional. She's doing a great job for you guys. And I brought her because I was afraid you'd have questions about the proposal she put together, and I was going to let you show just how strong an advocate she is. Well, you didn't. But I wanted to introduce her to the board and just give her a second so that you guys can know her face. That's it.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, receive and file. All in favor on receive and file? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Baldwin.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.